Welcome to Tier Fun. I'm Andrew, your guide through Modern, and today we're getting a little bit aggressive. I've been wanting to play an aggressive deck recently, but none of the ones I had 100% built were kind of calling out to me, and nothing I saw like in the internetosphere seemed amazing either. So I ended up just throwing this together. I ran it through some minor testing, just, to see if it was functional. And I've stole some wins against some relatively good decks and some poor decks. So we'll see how it ends up working. I had the Jeskai command in the main deck, but I think the mana is as such that we're really only going to want to bring it in against a grindier deck. So I switched to the side and added the other Snapcaster Mage. We are only running 3 Snapcaster Mages because we're really just heavy on the attack. Soulfire was actually our good friend Meddling Mage for a little bit, but I've been playing Soulfire in some small numbers in my Jeskai Aggro decks recently, and I think I'm at the point where I just want to go whole hog on Soulfires and see if this is a card that, isn't just like a fun card for me. Maybe if it's got a spot. Matchups we're looking for, basically anything where Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix is good. Another interesting synergy that I jammed into this deck, as well as with the life gain, is Young Pyromancer plus Mutagenic Growth. It allows us to trigger Young Pyromancer at instant speed. Mutagenic Growth also saves every one of our creatures from Bolt, except for, obviously, Young Pyromancer and Grim Lavamancer. So maybe I should have said everyone. Also, it doesn't save Snapcaster either. But, it saves our business creatures from Bolt. So we want to play against decks with Bolts. I think Jeskai is actually a pretty good matchup for us. That was one of the few decks I've tested against before recording. Boros Charm does double duty in every matchup, but it's great against sweepers as well. So I've actually used it. I've used all 3 modes in the small amount of practice I've had with this deck. One just for first striking damage, weird combat situation. Obviously 4 damage to deal with players or planeswalkers, and an indestructible counters a board wipe. Electrolyze is in here just because I wasn't comfortable getting Ojutai's Command, being able to cast it consistently, and it's another cycling card, gains you 2 life with a Soulfire. We're also sneaky good against Valakut, another deck I played against, in that if we can land an early Soulfire and gain some life with burn spells, it just becomes very hard for us to lose the game. So we're going to want to play against decks where we can race, decks that we can interact with. Creature-based decks are going to be pretty good matchups, I think, especially post-board with our paths. Also, another spicy one I'm running is Fiendslayer Paladin. It's just good against decks that are trying to spot removal you. That Mardu deck. Mardu does have access to path, but like Jund, especially. Fiendslayer is kind of a pseudo edge champion for white. So it's also another way to gain life, because I'm kind of worried about how much damage we're going to be dealing ourselves. It's been a while since I've played with Gitaxian Probe, so I'm a little more scared to be running Phyrexian mana cards than I have been in the past. But I think with 4 Helixes, 4 Soulfires, access to 3 Fiendslayer Paladins, I think we've jumped through the hoops to make sure burn is not horrendous. I don't think it's going to be great, but it's not horrendous. Another small thing of note, these were dispels, but I found that I was only bringing them in against Storm. Basically, I think everything else, we kind of just have enough threats to grind through spot removal. So I changed them to Spell Pierce so I could bring them in for, a multitude of situations, not just against Storm. It's pretty good against Jund or Lingering Souls decks. Any deck that's playing Liliana is what we're probably going to bring this in for. Anyways, it's enough chit chat. Let's join one of these here. Leagues. I labeled the deck as not a league. Sorry, cute. I labeled the deck Jeskai Attack, but I'm probably going to post it under Jeskai Aggro. I have another deck named Jeskai Aggro, and it's full of cards or versions of cards that I don't own anymore. But yeah, Lightning Angels and whatnot. Gitaxian Probe, rest in peace. That deck was a lot of fun. But yeah, let's see if an aggressive Jeskai bent has what it takes in Modern. Team Nexus Gaming, interesting. Okay. So here's an interesting hand, right? A lot of great cards. We have a turn 1 play in Swiftspear, and then we can opt into our second land. If we don't hit that second land in the first, I suppose we're on the draw as well, so we get an extra draw at it. Yeah, I think this is okay enough. This is exactly what we want to be doing. Let's see, we have 18 lands. 18. So we're not 100% favored to draw that next one. Opt gets us 2 cards deeper towards a land. Maybe we do mulligan. I think we'll keep. Be a little risque. Ooh, maybe this is Hierarch. Okay. Well, we get to attack through that. Awesome draw. So I could just get a mountain here. Save some life. I think I like that. Conversely, what is this deck? Are they going to be pressuring us? Nah, let's just get a mountain. It also disguises our deck. I mean, Arid Mesa into mountain screams burn. And, we are technically we're very aggressive burn style deck, so we're not hiding much. Surgy Step, interesting. So they gain protection from red. Yeah, that's fine. Vizier, okay, well, we gotta bolt that. Helix that, I suppose. Ooh, oh, we're so close. So I bet your opponent was not expecting Hollowed Fountain, and then was also not expecting Lightning Helix. So we're having some fun here tonight. It appears that our opponent is having some fun too, unless this is a newish deck that I am not aware of. Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, well, we'll get to Helix that as well. Oh, the Bandit Lord. Oh, opponent is doing it. I think this card is rough enough for us that we want to just get in and try to deal with it. We have Pass for it post board. I mean, it's either that or just opt, hope to hit a land. I think I'd be more likely to opt and pray if we had fetched the Steam Vents earlier, because then we could get basically any land. We could leave up the white to eventually play Helix. Well, I guess not every land, because we don't have the basic mountain. Well, we would have had the basic mountain left in the deck if we had fetched Steam Vents first. Whatever. We're here now. Ronus, interesting. So they don't have a creature that costs 4 mana for what it's worth. They can only spend this on creature. Oh no, if is spent on a creature spell. Sorry, so I thought it was add 3. Yeah, that land would be broken if it was add 3 mana. So they have access to 2 mana next turn. I think this is the turn I opt. 2 cards in hand. We really need to find a land, not a Mantis Rider. Boombo. Boombo goes the Doombo. Here we can Helix once more. Or we can play out Young Pyromancer. I think we want to just be aggressive here. So I'm going to play out this Swift Spear and attack him. No blocks. Okay. So I'm assuming opponent has something spicy for us next turn. They have access to 5 mana. One of which they have to pay for 3 life. Okay, so now they have access to 5 mana, or 6 mana if they want to pay 3 life. Which they probably don't want to. So they're playing some sort of... I'm assuming this is a Collected Company deck with Knight of the Reliquary, Vizier. Vronus is a good dump for infinite mana. I'm sure they have others as well. So this is one of the issues. It's a very minor issue, mind you, but it's an issue with Knight decks is that you're tempted to jam it full of utility lands, which is all well and good, but you know, sometimes you draw those utility lands. So they were obviously looking, if they had a fetch land heavy hand and that Knight survived, they'd be in the driver's seat here. Next turn, I guess we're just playing Mantis Rider. Because we're doing that, I probably should have Helixed away the Hierarch. So it's looking like they're using all that mana. Ooh. Gain 7 life, sure. Gain 7 life and then search your library for creature card. Let's see what they search. Devoted Druid, okay. Well, we'll save that Helix. So we can actually play Soulfire and then hold up Helix. I think that's what we do. So we have to fetch for white source. We do have one more in the deck. Opponent is effectively at square one again, thanks to that Primal Command. It's a minor annoyance. So we only need to bolt the Devoted Druid if they have a Vizier, but we probably want to do it anyways. So there's a lot of interesting plays they can make here. They can just make infinite mana and then kill me. Well, they can't kill me because I can kill this Hierarch. Because it gains trample as well? Yeah. Alright, so they're playing the Devoted Druid with haste, which makes me think that they do have the Vizier in hand. Or they just need to ramp one. But what would they need to ramp for? This is an interesting game. Playing against decks that you're kind of sure, okay, this looks to be the Vizier. Yeah. So we gotta bolt this in response. Otherwise, as soon as Vizier hits the battlefield, they gain infinite. Do we want red, white, or white? I guess we go red, white. Make sure it's Sacred Foundry. Yep. Let's gain 6 life here. Lightning Helix is a nice little wombo combo with Soulfire Grandmaster. So they're getting all the mana they can. Ooh, what do they have here? Coco? Alright, so we have dealt with 2 Viziers, so they have 2 more in the deck they can Coco into. And if they do, then we just lose, I believe. Because they can attack us with Vronus. No. No, we don't just lose because it's another target creature. Okay. So if they... Okay, that is... Thankfully they didn't... Thankfully this Kira wasn't already in play. Otherwise, that would have countered it. So we are still in a rough spot. Because they have one of their combo pieces in play. They can draw into a Collected Company or a Devoted Druid. Like, we do need to end this game. But I think we're safe to attack into... Like, we can't rely, unless we draw a Grim Lavamancer, we can't really rely on spot removal to save us. Like, this Cure is phenomenal with Vizier and Devoted Druid, because it invalidates all removal. It's kind of really spicy. I don't know if they have a way to cast it outside of Hierarchs, so they're probably just planning on accompanying into it. Well, okay, Snapcaster... We're going to keep this in our back pocket. Let's just jam. We're going to leave up red. It doesn't really matter, though. I wonder if they trade... I don't think they do. So I think I get in with Grandmaster. I could have not cast this and attacked with everything, but I think this is a better line. And then I could have maybe made a blowout. I'm representing that I have Lightning Bolt, though if I'm really representing, if they're smart, they'd notice that I didn't attack with these Swift Spears, so I'm really not representing that I have Bolt. This is about as bluffy as it can get without attacking with those guys. So they're on an effectively 1-turn clock. They need to have Devoted Druid or Coco here. Because we've been gaining incessant amounts of life, we don't have anything to worry about in terms of crackbacks this turn, and we don't have to block. Like, they can Wolf Run for boop, boop, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can Wolf Run for 4. And then attack with Ronus. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's not even half our life total. So I'm assuming opponents doing those exact calculations. Or they're slow rolling us hugely with a Coco in hand. But we don't just win next turn unless we draw a Lightning Bolt. We do force some awkward blocks though, which I'm more than happy to insist on our opponent making. Okay, so they're going to hold up Ronus pumps. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so they can pump twice. So they can kill 2 of our creatures. That'll do it too. Okay, yep. Let's just attack in. Let's see. Hopefully, I think we do, sadly, have to reveal that we're running Mutagenic Growth. Fun fact, I can cast this Mutagenic Growth, activate Soulfire Grandmaster's ability, and then cast it again. That might be the spiciest way to win here. Let's see. I wonder what that last card is. I'm assuming if it was a land, they would have played it. I think the Mutagenic Growth line gets blown out. The Mutagenic Growth rebound, essentially. Well, it's not a rebound. It's rebuy, I guess. Mutagenic Growth, rebuy. Mutagenic Growth gets blown out by Lightning Bolt, if they have it. I think it's safer just to Snapcaster Helix and then Mutagenic Growth for the win. So they do need to make blocks here. So I guess, I'm assuming that's what they're thinking about, is what's the least they can block with, considering I have 3 cards in hand and I'm representing at least 1 spell. So I think their blocks... Now, Kira does have flying, which I hadn't factored in until this moment. So we're not just killing them. Let's see what they do, though. So there's Ronus Pump on Kira, I assume. Sadly, it does get targeted. Or countered? Yeah. So they can do it again. Yeah, Kira is indiscriminate. It says whenever it becomes a target of a spell or ability, counter it. It's not just opponents. So while they are reaping the benefits of the protection, they are also reaping the punishments of it. So because they wasted that 3 mana, I think we've got this in the bag. I think they just realized it got countered. Because they did it before blocks as well, they can't block with this hierarch. So they wanted to make their blocks first and then do it. But yeah, essentially what they've done is they've broken the Kira shell for me to have. If I had a bolt, I could get rid of it and then they'd all be available. Okay, so I could Helix that now, but I don't think that's worth it. So we're just going to let this happen. They don't have access to any other mana. We're going to let this block. And that block, I suppose. Interesting. Okay. So we could have killed it and made sure Ronus didn't animate, but I think we're okay here. So we have Snapcaster Helix, that's 3. Yeah. So I don't think opponent made prime blocks. Oops, sorry. So, but they think they made the best blocks they could. I mean, they should have blocked with the. I mean, if they block with the Vizier, they lose anyways. So, yeah, we don't have to even show we have mutagenic growth, which is really good for us. Ended the game at 36 life. All right. Okay, so this game is going to be different. We certainly want as much removal as possible. I don't think we want engineer explosives. That's kind of there just as it's kind of a concession actually to Lantern. It's a utility card that we can bring in for, token based removal or really anything, but like basically if a deck's trying to go wider than us, we'll bring this in, or if it's Lantern. We want these paths. Disdainful Stroke is pretty good against Coco, but I don't think it's good against anything else. Spell Pierce is good against Coco, but I don't think it's good against anything else. Ojutai's Command is decent. Fiendslayer Paladin is actually pretty good against their creatures. So cards we're not jazzed about. I don't think we need the reach and the burn from Boros Charm. Lavamancer is great. I think we want to keep the pressure on with the Swift Spears. Young Pyromancer is great at blocking, if we're ever allowed to block. If they don't have Trample. They likely are going to have Trample, though. Soulfire makes racing a real pain. Once we've, covered our bases for the combo. We might also want to bring in Relic for their Night of the Reliquaries. Let's see this. What would I take out for Relic? Probably a Snapcaster. Makes the most sense. Grim's pretty reliant on the graveyard. I think I'm good just with Path for Boros Charm. We'll see. We have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, counting the Lavamancers. 14, counting the Electrolyze. 14 pieces of targeted removal that deal with the combo. So I think that's Sounds pretty good to me. Yep, this hand's good. We got all of our colors and 2 lands. The only question is, do we want to lead on Lavamancer? We might actually. It's the least damage over the long haul. The thing is, if we lead on Lavamancer, turn 2, we're probably playing Swiftspear. I guess it depends what they play. It looks like they're playing another Hierarch. We might just bolt it. Yeah, I think that's probably what we do. Ooh, we have a mountain. So, yeah, let's just mountain lightning bolt. Yeah. I do want to do my own thing, but I think their thing is scary enough that we don't. Also, new, when I'm auto-yielding, it gives a nice little caution sign right there. So you guys know when I'm auto-yielding, and I know if I'm auto-yielding and I'm not meaning to. I'm auto-yielding now. There it is. How about that, Magic Online? Alright, Forge Tender. That's kind of annoying. Completely invalidates the Swiftspear. So instead, let us play Lavamancer. And that tapped. So we need to draw a fetch land for Lavamancer to be on the line next turn. Okay, they don't have anything though. That's great. They might have a Coco. Well, if they had Coco, oh, we drew a white. Yeah, that's sweet. So interesting. So we have to Helix in order to have access to Grim Lavamancer. I guess that's what we do. I think we're just attacking their mana this game. We'll leave open white and red. We have a billion fetch lands in this deck, and we didn't draw a single one. So opponent's thinking if they want to sacrifice this Forge Tender, but I mean we'll just be able to get it anyways. It would have been nice to be able to save these for our Grandmasters. The way this game's playing out, I think I probably wanted to side out Grandmasters instead of that Snapcaster. Okay, so they sacrificed, and we're definitely just gonna eat it right up. So this does leave us naked to the combo, so we might have been a bit overzealous there. But I think if our opponent wants to defend their combo, it's probably best for us to, or defend their bird, it's probably best for us to try to kill it. So here, I think I'm going to play this tapped. Yeah. I don't want to play this Grandmaster next turn anyways. We're going to attack in. Ooh, no, we're not. So they're representing Coco. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to attack him with the Swiftspear, but I didn't cast it in time. No real reason to play it now. We have way more mana than we could ever do anything with. So they effectively spooked me into not attacking. I think Grim Lavamancer is just worth too much. Our deck's full of spells. Well, it's a third of spells. So we're favored to draw a spell or fetch land next turn. So they didn't have Coco. So playing scared for no reason. Grim is also our only real viable way to deal with a, Grim and Path, to deal with a resolved Knight of the Reliquary at this point. We need to draw a Lightning Bolt as well, but Well, opponent hasn't had the most explosive draws, and we've had a pretty clunky one as well. It turns out getting rid of their mana actually wasn't a big deal. So it's probably going to turn out that I should have left some fuel in the graveyard for a Grim Lavamancer. I just did not foresee a situation where... I mean, I guess wow, there's a... Is this Tarmogoyf? Not Tarmogoyf. Is this Thragtusk? Thragtusk is a beating. Primal Command. Interesting. Well, that's annoying. We'll just let it happen. What a savage whooping that was. So they got Eternal Witness to get back, I assume, Primal Command again next turn. We can play this tapped, play the Swift Spear, and we're going to play this Grandmaster. So, let's say they witness back Primal Command. That's not the worst, considering all of our creatures, well, not all of our creatures. Actually, none of our creatures attack through a witness right now. That's brutal. Maybe they get back Forge Tender, though. They could be playing this game in a way that they have the combo and they're just looking. Nah, they get back Primal Command. Yeah. Okay, if they got back Forge Tender, I'd be worried the other two cards in their hand are combo pieces. Oh my god. Is this Fiery Justice? Ah, what a blowout. What an intense blowout that was. Yeah. Wow. Wow. So, I think we just swing in. I think we're playing for... Yeah. So they get our Grandmaster here. So we get in for one. Wow, they don't block? Dead to Boros Charm? Oh, why did I side him out? So opponent's gaining 7 here. So even though we're at 31 life, we are at 31 life, so we've bought ourselves a lot of time. I can't believe they didn't block Soulfire at least. But they have another Primal Command, which is going to set us back a turn and get them probably another Eternal Witness. We do have an advantage in the clock. Opponent's taken twice as long to play Magic as we have. So they gain 7 life. Okay, so they're not plowing us under. What card are they getting? If they get one of the combo pieces, I assume the other one's in their hand. Because they haven't... I don't think they've played a land. Oh, no, I think they did play a land. Never mind. Knight. Knight's annoying. Would love to draw Path. Mantis Rider is good. I guess we just attack in again. We're on the Path and aggro plan. Wow. Wow. Opponent, knowing their outs, we can only have one card in hand, and we don't have 2 mana, so there is no reason for them to block. They have another way to gain life, though. Another Fiery Justice? Jeez. This one's gonna hurt. Hurts just as much, actually. Oh. gaining us so much life, but it doesn't even matter. Dead to Boros Charm. Attack. Attack, 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 attack. Okay, sweet. So we can path and then get in for 2, which is good. Path, 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 path. Okay, that does nothing. Sweet. I don't think there's a reason to play this. There's not a reason. There isn't a reason not to either, I suppose. But it's fine. If we draw a path next turn, we can loop paths and win the game. Okay, so they're just getting in for. They're going aggro. We have so much life though, so we don't really even care. Path. All right. Well, we'll play this Pyromancer. Play the land this time. I could attack, but I'm sure they're blocking now. Drawing with Horizon Canopy, so they're digging. And they're finding. Cord? Oh, that's not good. Alright. They're like... Well, never mind. Eternal Witnessing back. Fire Justice. Mother of frickin' pearl. Alright. So Bolt wins the game still. I assume at this point they're gonna... Well, I mean, they'll probably gain 7 again, so Bolt does not win the game. Sorry, for some reason, even though I just saw they got back Fire Justice, I was thinking they got back Primal Command, which they don't even have in their... Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, can't get rid of their guys. Looking for a Bolt. One-time Bolt. Okay, we have another path to victory, and that's playing the Snapcaster Mage after they swing in and hopefully don't play a blocker. Okay, so they're even attacking with the Hierarch. Let's see if they have an answer. We might have just got this one, guys. Okay, we definitely got this one now. That's gotta feel bad. Alright. So opponent attacked with their Noble Hierarch and lost. Turns out we had a Helix to get rid of it anyways. Well, no, we couldn't get rid of it because of Kira. So yeah, we were definitely going to game 3 there, but I don't think opponent had enough time on the clock to finish it. But yeah, you kind of see what the deck does there. It's kind of just wanted to combo Soulfire Grandmaster into burn spells and either remove their board or just gain a lot of life. I would love to loop some spells once we have 5 or more mana, but it's pretty rare that happens. It basically is a sign that we're almost about to lose or we're winning so much. So I mean, yeah, it's not unheard of, and it's definitely easier to loop Mutagenic Growth. But yeah, like, and also, you know, Young Pyromancer that combines with all the spells we have jammed in here, and Snapcaster combines with them as well. And Mantis Rider is great because we're aggressive. So yeah, that's us. That's us. That's our Jeskai Aggro plan, our Jeskai attack. Ooh. The worst part is, like, our opponent didn't just like right click attack all. They selected each individual one and swung right in. Like, like, I've been there before. We've all been there before, where you just feel like there's actual no way you can lose, and you do things like that. But there's almost always a way you can lose. That is a lesson that I have learned. This hand looks phenomenal, so we'll keep it. Maybe not phenomenal, but it looks very good. Like an A. GLHF. You too. I wish you good luck, Raptor 2 through 7. Whether you are the 237th Raptor or just think that's a cool name, I wish you good luck. We're going to lead on Tarn. Gives us the option to fetch Mountain to bolt a turn 1 play, save some life. Yeah, and that's definitely what we're doing here. Well, we can also, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're going to fetch Shock anyways. Well, no, we're not. Let's see. Yeah, let's get the Mountain. Or the Steam Fence. Yeah, let's get the Steam Fence. It's essentially the same thing because now we get to Flooded Strand into a white source. Well, okay, we're gonna potentially save some life here. We also do want to present the clock against Burn. I'm assuming this is red-white Burn. Helix is phenomenal. This could be mono-red Burn, though. We'll see. This turn will tell us a lot. Ooh, it's Delver. Or perhaps somehow a mirror match. Okay, we're actually going to bolt this thing. It's pretty annoying. Sacred Foundry. And we want to have access. We're going to Lightning Helix or Mantis Rider next turn. They might have a counter as well, if this is Delver. Looks like they do. Okay, that's fine. Land? Nope. Alright, let's just get this out of here. We're going to save this to protect from a bolt. Land would have been great, but even if we drew a land, I'm probably just helixing that Lavamancer. So we're at parity currently. 3 cards is 3 cards. Spreading Seas, the white source. Okay. Okay, so I don't know what... This is obviously a brew. I don't know what aggressive deck runs Spreading Seas. Soulfire, no longer castable. We're just getting in here. We could have growthed, but... Oh, Evolving Wilds. Alright, so opponent is on a brew, a budget brew. They're still in a great position here, though, so... situations like these where it's easy to... Ooh, peek. Well, you got me. Where it's easy to kind of let your guard down and be like, oh, well, they're not playing with peak optimal cards, so this is an easy win. But that's a real easy way to get a loss. I have a very deep losing record against playing against kids. At first, I probably could have stolen a win. I mean, I don't know. It's been long. It's a long, unfortunate history. But I probably could have stolen a win here and there in the beginning. But I played loose. I played quick. They're a kid, you know. Kid at an FNM. Like, you can beat that. Oh, okay. Well, this is actually pretty good. We are just getting in for 1. We're playing around a burn spell here, but I guess they know about the Beta Giant Growth. So maybe it's for the best damage wise to not play it defensively. Well, nah, we're gonna wait. I don't know what kind of shenanigans they have. Beta Giant Growth might actually end up being pretty useful as a defensive tool. But yeah, like, eventually I started realizing that, oh my god, I don't... Alright, who are they bolting? Yeah, that makes sense. So we do lose out on 3 damage here, which is unfortunate. But a bolt pointed at a pyro is a bolt not at our face, even though this does cost 2 life. But anyways, back to the story. Further down the line, I realized that, my God, I don't think I've beaten a kid yet. And then obviously I start trying a whole lot harder against kids. But now the kids I'm playing against are just really good at Magic. And, you know, to be fair, the other ones were too. But I've lost to like Black-Red Minotaurs during Theros when I was playing a pretty competitive deck. And I've lost to basically, you name Jank BREW, we are blocking here. This deck could theoretically be running Temur Battle Rage. And if so, we would like to avoid that. Helix. Yowza, this Spreading Seas is murdering us right here. So much so that I don't think we can attack. We're going to Snapcaster, targeting Mutagenic Growth this turn. Land would have been great. But yeah, moral of the story is, you know, whatever you play Magic for, usually, you know, even if you do play for fun and you're playing like low stakes events, you are playing to win. You're hopefully playing to play your best potential Magic. We are blocking. And so that involves respecting your opponents. I suppose we let this resolve before they know about our Mutagenic Growth play, even though they do know about it, but I think it's correct to let it resolve. And they pass priority back, and we're going to Snapcaster. So they could have a Bolt here. But if they had a Bolt, well, they knew about the Snapcaster. Let's see. They could have also opted into a Bolt. So, Censored. That's a blowout. Did not play around Censor or any counterspell for that matter. Okay, well, we are riding on drawing a White Source next turn because we need to Helix this thing. White Source, White Source, White Source, White Source. Phew. Well, opponent does only have 2 cards in hand, but we're looking pretty dead. Maybe that was an ambitious block. Should have been able to predict Censor. I do like Censor as a card in Modern. So yeah, Delver. This is I played it when I wasn't running Snapcasters, just as a way to fuel graveyard stuff for Bedlam Revelers and stuff outside of Thought Scour. I was pretty sour on Thought Scour for a while. Oh, this is not the worst. Mana Leak. Okay, well, 1 card in hand. I will not pay for it. If they flip, we're likely just dead. I mean, we do have 11 life. Flip to the Mana Leak. So that means they get it for 4 this turn and 4 the next turn, 100%, because we can't interact with that Mana Leak. Yeah, I think it's best to cast it now. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they do. We want them to spend the spell on their turn. So we fought through 1 Mana Leak. Yep. I would love to pay for it, but, you know, the game won't let me. So we are dead to a Bolt here. The Spreading Seas did so much freaking work. If we could have just cast the Soulfire Grandmaster at any time, we would have been fine. Oh, the slow roll. The slow roll. The slow roll. We got slow roll. I guess it's not really a slow roll. That we did have a blue mana up. I don't necessarily know. So this card seems pretty dang good against their deck. We do have to be mindful that we have a double white card, though. We need to fetch accordingly. I think we also probably want to get more interactive. Lavamancer's great. I think we don't want... We're going to go down on Boros Charms. Potentially. We also might not want Spell Pierce. Electrolyze seems fine, but maybe... It's really only good if they're running Young Pyromancer, but I have to assume they are. Soulfire is great at keeping in the game. Mantis Rider... Alright, so maybe we don't want Spell Pierce. We're just going to let them play the Counterspell game. Nah. We're going to upgrade Electrolyze with Path. And we're going to look for 4 more cards to bin. 2. Do we just go bye-bye Soulfires? Replace Soulfire with Fiendslayer Paladin? Maybe we actually go bye-bye Young Pyromancer. Thing is, it's great at blocking their fast starts. Maybe Snapcaster Mage. I don't know. I feel like Soulfire is pretty good, especially on the play. So, yeah, let's get rid of the Young Peas. We're just going to be in full-on life gain race mode because I do believe. I mean, I don't know what the opponent is playing, obviously, 100%, but they are playing Blue-Red and Delver. So I'm assuming it's going to be a race. Okay, sounds good. Sounds fine. It'd be a whole lot better if Fiendslayer was uncounterable. Okay, so we do need to fetch aggressively. Opponent has shown that they're playing. So I do think we just... Well, we're not doing anything else turn 2, so we can save 1 life here. I think I'm going to get Sacred Foundry into Hollowed Fountain. Just, like, give us the most access to white. Yeah, especially because we drew that. And we're just going to Helix it. We do get blown out. Oh no, we don't get blown out. The only thing that blows us out here is this Disrupting Shoal. Trading a Helix for a Delver is fine, especially on a mulligan. Yet again, Spreading Sea is doing just enough. White Source, please. No White Source. I wanted to play you so bad. Alright, let's opt. Helix is fine. Fiendslayer would have been so good this turn, too. Swift Spear, sure. We're going to attempt to Helix it. Yeah. Okay, they don't have a counter. That's great. Another Delver. That's going to need a path. Ooh, Mantis Rider. We only... Ugh. So here's the question. Do we want to get down Mantis Rider? They don't have a counterspell, or they valued Delver more than a counterspell, which is probably correct. only have one white. Oh, this freaking spreading seas. I think we just get rid of their threats. That's how we're going to play this one. Mantis Rider would have been great, but I think just chewing through everything they have is... I think we're the control here. Dragon's Claw. Thoroughly unimpressive. Alright. So they are holding up Mana Leak. Okay. So we either... I guess we just play the Mantis Rider. So they draw Mana Leak this turn. Looks like no. Could be slow rolling. So we're immune to their removal thanks to mutagenic growth. Play this tapped and pass. So we are in the driver's seat. Lavamancer. Holy crap. Is this just spells? Oh, why not abilities? What a blowout. So I'm pretty sure that's what they drew. Path. Seems fine. We'll just attack in. So we're going to play the Fiendslayer Paladin, hopefully coax out a one Lavamancer activation. Lavamancer isn't the thing we need to be dealing with this board. Our main threat is Mantis Rider. Now, if they have a Bolt for Mantis Rider in our end step for some reason, I think we would be obliged to save it. So they're going right for it. Oh, interesting. So they have Arc Trail? Arc Trail gets us. Oh, Burst Lightning. Yeah, that's... Well, depending on what they have. If they have a leak here. Spell Pierce. Okay, that gets us. They are out of cards, though, and we get to path this next turn and start swinging in. They don't have I don't think a single card in their deck, unless they're running Thing in the Ice, blocks this profitably, thanks to First Strike. So let's just path it here. I could do it in the draw step, but if they have a counter spell, I'd prefer not to get got by it. And that should be all she wrote. Unless they have a really good card advantage engine. Karanos could get them back in the game if they had it here. Spreading Seas, sure. So they wanted to cut us off of double red instead of double white. Cuts off Bolt, Snap, Bolt. I suppose that's fine. Alright, well, nothing of profit. Snapcaster? Soulfire. Ugh. Soulfires, too many. I'm assuming they're not running sweepers, so I'm going to play this one out. Could be my undoing, but I willfully accept it. That pause says that there's a Mana Leak in hand, to me at least. Ooh, think twice. Well, that's think once. They will be thinking twice soon. So I'm a pretty big fan of all the cards opponents been playing. Budget Delver deck. Yep. Peek into my empty hand. They did just refill their hand though, so they have card advantage, which they need in a deck like this. I'm surprised they're not running Charter Course, to be honest. So their hand was a whole lot of air. I'm assuming they opted into Bolt, so they get one of our Soulfires. Soulfire down. Sadly, double lifelink isn't a thing, so it's not too bad. Swift Spear. Pew. Would love to draw a spell. Though I think with our current situation, life total wise, we are going to have quite a buffer. Censor. But yeah, like to flash back to like however long it was ago. I really like Censor. Like it's not as good as Thought Scour for filling your graveyard, but having the utility, the 2 mana Force Spike, is actually kind of good. It comes up, especially modern nowadays. People tap out a lot of times. It's tap out heavy. Even I guess Jeskai Control is kind of making a resurgence, so maybe not. Yeah, all right. Opponent had enough. We were not drawing anything of use. The way that game went made me very much want to have an Electrolyze. I could also go down on Swift Spears. I don't know. I like being aggressive. Maybe 1 Fiendslayer Paladin. It's just so good. Lava Mantra is the only thing that gets it. Maybe a Mantis Rider. I did miss Young Pyromancer that game. The ability to leave behind tokens is nice. So we could get less aggressive. Sideboard in 3 Young Pyromancers instead of these Mantis Riders. They are easier to cast under mana restriction as well. Maybe we'll do that. Well, no, because it's a really great blocker for Delver. So let's just go down on the Fiendslayer. Is Spell Pierce really all that good? It is pretty choice at countering something. Early, especially. Horrible top deck, though. It is coming down to the penultimate game. No, the ultimate game. The last game. Penultimate, English lesson, is the last, second to last, I believe. They keep 7, we keep 7. Let's do this. Okay. Would like to draw a bolt. Thank you. We're definitely bolting before Swift Spearing. We're going to do the same thing we did last time. Try to get our double red. Or sorry, double white. We're playing Soulfire next turn. Or we're Helixing. Mother of God. That's such a good play. It's such a good play. Oh my God. Alright, well, we can play Soulfire at least. So they need to play a removal spell for it. We need to draw a red source. If we draw a red source, we're good. Okay. Not good. Wow. Well, they don't have anything at least. God, I can't believe Spreading Seas got us 3 games in a row. Well, if all they have is counterspells, this Soulfire is going to get there. We could have opted pre-combat, but the only thing, I mean, that could have got us a land, so maybe that was correct. I was pretty certain it was getting countered. Oh, could have gained some life. All we need is the red source. We're so far in this game. Just Slamming. So we're slamming this game. We're so far into it. So they have Ghost Quarters too. It's also a good use of land spots. Oh, this is good for us. Assuming they don't have a counterspell, which I bet they do. Yep. God almighty. What did we do? They do only have 2 cards in hand. Need a red source. Red source, please. Please Ghost Quarter me. Yes, we did it. We did it. They could have another mana leak. I think we just get... We're getting... We have to get... We don't have another Sacred Foundry. It's kind of what I wanted to get. So anything we play can be leaked. Let's just play the highest ceiling play. I did want to play Fiend Slayer. Sure, that's fine. Not everything we play can be censored, though. The fact that we have access to all of our mana, though, makes me... I feel a whole lot better about... Oh! What the fuck? Oh. God bless America. Spreading seas. Oh, my God. Why? Why me? Why me? Why you do this? So we play that Swift Spear, gets around Censor. So we'd at least have a Swift Spear on the... Alright, well, they didn't draw a spell. So they drew that Swift Spear. And their other card is either a counterspell or a land they don't want to play. We'll find out. Land. Thank you. So we need to get a red source. So we can cast one of these spells. I think it has to be Bolt. Could also be Mantis Rider. Be brave for me. No mana leak. Just be a censor. Yes! Okay. Oh man, I really want to win this game. I wanted to win this game more than I think any other game I've played on camera. We are blocking that 100%, by the way. Okay. We are letting Swift Spear through, though. So they didn't have a counterspell last turn. They are skillfully taking us off of red. I'm assuming they're going to Ghost Quarter this as well, though. No? They refuse to attack into the might of the Mantis Rider. They really need to Ghost Quarter this. Ooh, okay, we can opt. No reason to do anything pre-combat, though. If we can get this down, I'm going to be feeling a whole lot better. Take that, Censor. Mana Leak. Okay, so they have Mana Leak from here on out. So we can really only resolve it past to exile. Our deck is much better suited to fight against the Blood Moon than it is multiple Spreading Seas. I think we do have to... Well, do we have to attack our block? We go to 7. They have Mana Leak in hand. We go up to 9. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Steam Vents. Ooh, Scalding Tyrant, even better. Just attacking with both. So 1, 2, 1. Yeah, we can even play it. That's awesome. Take that, Spreading Seas, you jerk. Steam Vents, look out now. Let's Helix this flying creature. Don't see how we lose here. Ghost Quartering yet again. That's fine. We do have another. So they stuck to their game plan, which is trying to keep me off of red. They can't attack. We're going to Snapcaster. They can counter it if they wish. Well, they can counter this Opt if they wish. I'm sure they want to. No? I'll bottom that. Because, I mean, Path, we can just... Oh, well. Obviously should have waited there for some reason. It got real antsy. But this clears the way for our next path. Oh my god. Well, we were pathing on their turn anyways. So it's interesting to see what they path. So this was going to blow us out. I was likely to path pre-combat. Okay. That's okay. We can't cast it. I think I want to look even though I know. So we have 2 Sulfur Falls as red sources. That's all. So the rest of our red cards are no-go. So we're actually in a bit of a predicament. The fact that they were holding on to Swerve all this time. See if they block. Okay, so they have Mana Leak still. So yeah, let's do it. Let's Snapcaster targeting Mutagenic Growth. So yeah, obviously I should not have played that on their turn, but I was very likely to play it before combat so I could get in with my Snapcaster. So it was going to blow me out. It does still suck though. So that was an aggressive use of Snapcaster, but I really just want to remove all blockers that they have. Alright, so they have Mana Leak in hand. And also, while also retaining the fastest possible clock. Yep. That's awesome for me. I was actually kind of worried about attacking in next turn. Delver, not worried about you. Alright, well, it's looking like we're going to get this one done. We're up to 13. They don't have a way to remove our Fiend Slayer. I hope they don't draw another creature. Okay. 2 Ghost Quarters, 2 Spreading Seas. Almost did it. Okay, let's make sure we get into the block state phase. GG. GG. Lightning Bolt face. Ha! You fool! Oh, I guess they do gain the life. Dang it. Not GG. I'm the fool. So it gives them one more out. GG's opponent. Well played. All right, that was a long one. Good lord. Whew. Man. Whew. Almost lost to Budget Blue Red. I do think, though, for all those budget inclined, Blue Red is really... It's full of a lot of cheap cards. Sure, there's a lot of real powerful stuff like Cryptic Command that costs more, but you can build a deck very much like that gives you play in Modern. You're not going to be, you're not going to have any amazing matchups, but you can play the game. And if that's all you're interested in, I think it's also my preference in colors as well, but I think that's outside of playing a fun, maybe like a Saffron Olive budget Modern list. A list like that, some cards might transfer into actual Delver or actual Modern, and you can upgrade it with like a Scalding Tarn here, a Cryptic Command there, a Snapcaster Mage there, like once every month or so. And sooner than you think, your games of Magic the Gathering will have turned into a slow upgrading to Modern staples. That's why I think it's good to have eyes on the future for your Modern decks, for your budget intro decks. Like there are some cheapish decks that are pretty powerful, at least at Stealing Wind, but they don't necessarily upgrade into anything. Building something like sticking to like green white, Little Kid Abzan or Little Kid green white, like with all those little kid creatures. Let's go, Sick World. Perfect timing. It doesn't have to be red blue. That might not. I mean, you're watching my channel, so you probably do like, is it red blue? But it doesn't have to be red blue. That's just my favorite recommendation for starting off if you're gonna make a budget deck. I think we keep this. Swift Spear turn 1, turn 2 Bolt. If we don't draw land, we're okay. If we do draw land, our hand combos very well with Soulfire and Mantis Rider. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. We're also on the draw. Serum Visions. Let's see if this is Storm and we just get absolutely raffle stomped. I don't think we have a bad matchup against Storm. I think we're going to get red-white here. Because then we can draw any land. Yeah, because if we get red-blue, we need to draw a white source to play our other stuff. I suppose we can't cast Lightning Helix next turn, but any land lets us cast Soulfire. Yeah, this looks like Storm. It is a different opponent, otherwise I'd say it was Budget Delver yet again. Still might be. Ooh. So we get the Helix here for max value. Can't let that thing live. We do have a decent enough matchup against Storm because we present a clock. Game 1. Game 2, we have counters. That helps. I would love to draw land here. Alright, we don't. Land would have been great because we could Soulfire into Lightning Bolt. They're never going to get a reducer to stick thanks to our awesome Lightning Bolt rich hand. See if they've got another one. Nope, opt. Okay, so their hand is currently 5. Okay, it is potentially 5. They could have been sandbagging that from their draw step. Business land cards. Ooh, okay. Because of how they played earlier, I want to get out the Soulfire so bad, but I don't think we can afford to. How do they opt? Do they top it? Okay, well, hear me out. They need a whole lot of stuff next turn to win. And our chances of winning get a whole lot better if we play the Soulfire. It also might cause them to play slower because we are not just red-white burn. And assuming they drew that land off of Serum Vision, off of Opt, they need another land to punish this. A land or Electromancer, and I think they would have played a Reducer last turn because they'd just been jamming them anyways. Of course, they were jamming them without the third land. Okay, that's a great sign. So I don't think we can die this turn. Famous last words. We can definitely die this turn. It's just not likely that we die this turn. Oh, that's awesome. Land would be huge. Okay, I'll take that. Downside is I can't Bolt or Helix here because I need to keep it up for potential Reducer off the top. Soulfire is great here because we can gain 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage, or 10 life, if we draw land next turn, and they don't get rid of it. It really helps us survive like a small baby, a baby grape shot. All right, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we're going for it here. Okay, actually, if we're going for it, we should actually go for it. And we should also tap our mana correctly. So they could have a remand or something here. Sure. I think land just wins us the game. Dang. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can put them to 1. No, sorry. Do your math, Andrew. We can put them to 2. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put them to 2. That means they can still use a Sheevan Reef. I think it's still better to be conservative. If I could put them to 1, I would do it. But putting them to 2 is just green light to lose, especially because we tapped out. We're still Boros Charming on the end step. Nothing's changed on that front. We're just holding up Bolt for Reducer, so we don't... I mean, they can still go off in response. It just makes it a lot harder to win on the same turn. So this looks like Manamorphose. Sure, they're looking for something. They might be wanting to value Grape Shot here because they know they're dead next turn because of this Boros Charm. But what they don't know is we also have 2 Lightning Bolts, so they're dead next turn anyways. So this is the mythical Storm draw where your Lightning Bolts and your Helixes actually do something, and they don't just have another one and jam it anyways. These are the kind of hands that I played against my first my first what do we got? Tapping 3. Okay, Brawl. Okay, so they're gonna play a and we're gonna get it right here. So they still could have went off on this turn. So if we had played that Boros Charm, we'd be dead here. That's that. We could be dead here, assuming they have another Manamorphose and then Gifts Ungiven, etc. Well, they're still going. If they draw into a reducer here, we still could be dead. So I might. Oh my god! I might have been counting my chickens before I hatched. Manamorphose. If they have a ritual and another ritual, their hand was stocked. They had 8 cards this turn. This is insane. Okay, gifts. They are gifting with 1 floating, which means we are essentially dead if they get the right pile. But we'll just see. I can't believe we're dying here. That's insane. They might not be able to kill us this turn. They're gonna get ritual, Manamorphose, Past in Flames, I assume. And if they do that, what do we bin? We bin both rituals. And they get up to 3 mana, and they can cast Past in Flames with nothing. So that means we still win. So yeah, I think they need to have 2 floating here to kill us. I could be counting wrong though, so yeah, because we bin both the rituals. Okay, well, we have to give them the Grape Shot. Because we could bin Grape Shot Past in Flames, then they get up to 6 mana, and then we die. We could give them Ritual Past in Flames. Maybe that's alright. So they ritual up to 3 mana. And then they could cast Past in Flames. I think that's fine. If they have another ritual, we're dead. Alright, let's say they have another ritual. And we bin both rituals. We are still alive. And if they have 2 rituals, we're dead regardless. So I guess because we have Lethal Burn in hand, we will bin both rituals and let them wipe our board. Ah, crap, we don't have Lethal Burn in hand. We need to land. So, yeah. If they had another ritual, we were just dead if we bin the Grape Shot. Right? Because they would have been up to 3, and then they had a ritual in hand. And they would have held it too, because this Grape Shot's just good enough. That being said, I think we just have to kill the Electromancer. Yeah. We have auto-yielded. Hello, auto-yield. Why do they not target this enough? That's a bit of a pun. Spire Bluff. So we can attack in freely because they're not going to block, and then we can bolt it. I think we just want to. I think we just want to bolt it. Right? Yeah. It sucks. So if they have a single ritual like we were thinking, we were playing around last turn, we're dead. Okay, sweet. So now they're looking for a reducer. Whew. So that wasn't played optimally, but we thought it through. We made the right line. We forgot we didn't have lethal burn that turn. Lightning bolting the Electromancer is just going to be good enough anyways, most of the time. Okay. Oh, where were you? Actually, let's just see what they do to... Well, they might have a remand. Okay. They don't have remand. All right. Well, it's great to steal that game 1 because that is the worst game for us. This is our Storm package. Probably Path as well, but I don't know if we're going to have room for Path. Electrolyze gets up... Well, at least one Electrolyze gets upgraded. I don't think we want Young Pyromancer. It's just too slow and not aggressive enough. I think all of these are fine. Soulfire is also, I think, too slow. 6, 7, 8. If we're just running one of them, do we want Young Pyromancer over a Soulfire? Soulfire was pretty good for us that game. Ooh, I think we probably want Soulfire over Grimm's. Yeah, I think I like this. Young Pyromancer. It is really good with mutagenic growth. Maybe we don't want to remove any removal. I think we're going to go like this. We could also board this in as a hedge against tokens, because otherwise we're kind of dead to tokens. So maybe that's a reason to keep in 2 Young Pyromancers, because then we could theoretically make a lot of tokens. We can't make a ton of tokens though, so let's just keep our 2 Grandmasters in there. This might be, the engineered explosives might be a little preemptive, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want, I think ideally they sideboard into the, empty the warrens. Double bolt seems good. We do need to find something with this opt though. But I think we can't ship a hand with interaction for their reducers, because that is their easiest path to victory. Alright, Snapcaster is great. This is getting Scalding Tarn here. Oh. Ooh, okay. It's still getting, it's still getting Steam Vents, and we're opting on the end step. Little Cavalier with our life total, but I want... Ooh. I think this is enough. I think we're looking for threats now. Okay, that's a decent one. We might want to just flash in the Snapcaster here if they don't do anything. But they did something. Oh, yeah. Bolt. Blue white or red white? I think we're getting red white. Just so we can have the most access to Bolt, Snap, Bolt land. Ooh, not good. I think we opt here, looking for land. Spell Pierce is good though. But I think that land's better. Opt is so much worse. Okay. That's not so good. I really wish we had. If I could choose, I would choose Spell Pierce over Opt. Man, the one time we're getting kind of hamstrung by lands, it's against Storm, which I don't really want to be hamstrung at all by. We're opting into a land is our game plan. We did it. We did it. So 3/6. Okay, well, that's great for me. I don't think we showed that game 1. Maybe we did. It's really late here, so my memory is worse than it usually is. Or it gets really early, depending on your situation with regards to the time zones. I don't think we need. We're definitely getting blue. I don't think we need double white. So we're just going to get another Steam Fence here, just to get the max red and the max blue. Opponent has 6 business cards in hand. That's great. I do not wish to tap out, so we're just going to attack in. We could bolt here 4, but I think we're just going to save them. Man, if only Opt put them in the graveyard and on the bottom of your deck. Okay, here we are Boros Charmingly. We are missing out on prowess damage here, but that's the price we pay to have mana open. The most mana open all the time. Ugh, that's not a good draw. So here we could bolt and then have path up. I think I just like. All right, so we are listening. I think I like doing it this way again. It's really conservative, but the fact I just don't want to lose to a resolved reducer here. And let's see what they got. Okay, Manamorphose. So they can still remand here. Okay, they're ritualing. So, which means, let's see, they'll have 3, 4, 5 mana left over. Let's, we could path here. Yeah, I think we path. I probably should have led with path. So they can go get gifts ungiven here. I assume they were wanting to gifts in response, which is why. Well, they could have Manamorphosed again. I guess maybe not. Another Manamorphose. Okay, so they did have a Manamorphose, so they could have gifts in response. So they're looking for another reducer. So they do have gifts ungiven in hand. I would bet a whole ton of money they do. All right, and because we don't have, well, we do have some removal. We have Snap Bolt. It's not going to be great against their stacked hand, though. But I'm inclined to want to. Okay, sleight of hand's good. I'm inclined to want to tap out for a threat next turn. There's the gifts. Okay. Alright, so we can deal with the reducer next turn. We don't have any counter spells currently. We really could use some graveyard hate here. If we had our relic, we would be great. Okay. Interesting. Well, empty's kind of just good against us as it stands. So we give them the mana, bin Manamorphose, empty the warrens. It's kind of a weird gift. How much damage can we put through next turn? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. We can put them to 1 if we draw a bolt. We can kill them if we draw mutagenic growth. So that being said, let's bin the more business of the cards. This is 5. This is 3, 8, 9. Lightning bolt, please. Snapcaster. Well, so this is 3. We can Snapcaster it back. Doesn't really do much though. So let's just attack. This is horrendous. So they're gonna ritual in response, and we're gonna Snapcaster in response to this ritual. So they can go off here if they want, or if they're able to. Let's get the bolt. I think if they wanted to fire off their other ritual, they would have done it. I mean, I guess there's no reason not to. So, do they have a grape shot here? Eight, 9 mana. Bolt face. That's interesting. So I guess they have probably Past in Flames. Well, they have 4 mana, so I'm pretty sure they can just go off here. Why didn't they cast the other ritual in their hand? So they already had Past in Flames. I guess that was kind of the signal anyways. So let's see what they go for. I'm assuming it's going to be... I guess we'll have 6. I'm assuming it's going to be the one, the only, empty the warrens. 4. Yeah, I don't think we can kill them next turn. I'm just going to see... Let's see how this plays out. Well, they have another bolt. If they gifts again, then okay, it's a grape shot. Wow. Thank you for showing me your hand. All right. Yeah. Wait a second. Okay, I was like, do we not have Relic of Progenitus? So I am happy with the engineered explosives. So that was a good sideboard. We did stuff. We interacted with them. They just drew out of it. This hand is way better. We have 3 lands, first of all, and we have counter spells. And we get to lead on Spell Pierce. I guess that's not way better because we are missing the burn spell. We do have Disdainful Stroke and Spell Pierce for the gifts, so that's how we're gonna plan on attacking them this game. Deciding whether to mulligan must be a tough one. See, I don't think Storm is a phenomenal matchup for this deck. I think we just lead on the red. But like I said earlier, we can present a clock, and we do have some disruption sideboard, and main board too, mainly just for their reducers though. So I mean that's kind of the formula for beating Storm, is have a clock and disruption. So we don't really have the clock side of it. We have Snapcaster, which is both a clock and disruption, and we do have the mana to cast it this time. There was a part of me that wanted to Spell Pierce the first thing they played, but I think that's just way too greedy. Or is it? I think we just play this untapped. The reason being is next turn I'm not gonna wanna. I don't see a turn I'm gonna want to cast Boros Charm. And I'm thinking, I mean, it is a good way to close the gap, but I'm thinking we want. I mean, we can't really side him out. We don't really have much more interaction. It's either Boros Charm or more. Another Snapcaster. That's not bad. More Young Pyromancers, or the other one. It is so late. It's like 4 a.m. here. Soulfire Grandmaster. There it is. Yeah. Chronic issue. Does anyone else suffer from poor mana tapping syndrome? Oh, this is great. So I think we just fire off this first Snapcaster valueless because we need to get a clock down. Yeah. Let's see how they scry. Scry guy says top. Oh, it's the worst. I'm really hoping they go for a card draw spell here. Okay. I'm also kind of hoping they remand this. Okay, they don't. Mantis Rider. Maybe we've never found a spot where we can cast Mantis Riders. There were spots. We just never have had the mana, really. Like, it's tapping out against Storm is horrendous, especially after they Serum Vision top with 4 mana. Maybe I should just be taking the risk, though. But I don't think we take it this turn, risk-wise. I think we're actually going to try to bait them here. So yeah, we can let this resolve. I guess there's no reason. Maybe this is bait enough. They're going to want to go. Okay, so we get this Spell Pierce. This one. This was poor tapping. I should have tapped this for the path so I could have access to another Spell Pierce. I don't want to Spell Pierce this. I want to save it for something better. But Spell Pierce does get worse. Now we're kind of looking at Spell Pierce only being able to counter a flashback Past in Flames, which isn't the worst, but it's also not all that exciting. I guess we can get a gift here still. That feels great. So they don't have much going on in hand. F2. I am F2ing it. Land? Oh, buddy. Okay, so here we can play Mantis Rider and hold open Spell Pierce. Or we can hold open Snap Path and Spell Pierce, and that's what we're going to do. Mantis Rider having haste is pretty nice. It makes delaying casting it hurt a whole lot less. Alright, well here I guess we're just Snapcaster, Boros Charm. Just try to get max aggro. They could have Remand here. That'd be pretty annoying. They do not. Ooh! Didn't cast Mantis Rider because we drew Helix. And I want to hold open all of my counter spells next turn. Colorless red, what's that? Oh. Colorless blue, that's BREW. So we could Helix and then hold open Disdainful Stroke. I think that's what we do. Or, since the only interaction they have is Remand, we're only dead to 2 Remands, we could also just wait. I think we're going to wait here. I'm assuming they have Past in Flames, or a Ritual. I mean, sorry, or Manamorphose. Gibson Giffen. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, they do not. So they need to have 2 Remands here, and they do not have it. So I think we're just good. We're so good, in fact. 3 puts them to 4. Oh, Mantis Rider doesn't do it. I think we still Helix them, because we could draw a burn spell. Oh, they just concede. We did it! We did it! We beat Storm! Okay, that always feels great. Disdainful Stroke, I've been impressed with against Storm. It's also just, I think it's positioned pretty well in Modern currently. As for the deck, I think I want another land just because of that Storm match. There's been a couple times we're choked and we're not able to cast our Mantis Riders. And these Snapcasters are essentially 3 drops as well. Like, I was concerned with mana for the Ojutai's command in the main deck, and now I'm thinking I got pretty dang lucky to be able to cast it all. So yeah, maybe I take out a Boros Charm. I'm actually probably cutting one of these 2 for a land. Probably Soulfire. Maybe Young Pyromancer, because we don't have too many spells. So it's probably going to be young. It's probably going to be like this. Some baloney land. Maybe that. But yeah, so that was Jeskai Aggro. I really do. I might board this young. I don't know 100% what I'm going to do because I really like Young Pyromancer plus Mutagenic Growth. We didn't play any matchups where that was actually a particularly great interaction, but it's great against Death Shadow. Though Death Shadow is starting to play Team of Battle Rage again, so blocking is becoming more and more perilous in Modern. But as long as blocking's good, Young Pyromancer is good, and Mutagenic Growth, Young Pyromancer is good. But yeah, I was pretty pleased with the deck. I think these Fiendslayer Paladins are sneaky good. I don't know if we want 3. Stony Silence, I think, is just good enough to run. We might want... I think I do want access to maybe one more piece of Graveyard Hate. But maybe for Ojutai's Command. I just love Ojutai's Command. Such great value with Young Pyromancer, Soulfire, and Snapcaster. And against Jund or any deck that card advantage matters, this card is like you could draw a card, you could return a Snapcaster, so that's 2 for 1, and then you cast another thing, that's 3 for 1. It's like it's a 3 for 1 that is technically even more because it's insane value. It could be more depending on what you get with Snapcaster. Say you get a removal spell, that's a 4 for 1. That's insane. I think Ojutai's Command is worth at least 1 slot in this deck. I kind of want to bump it up to 2. But yeah, those are the thoughts I have. If you guys have any thoughts or comments, concerns regarding this deck or others' decks, just let me know down below in the comments. I try to get back to literally every comment made. YouTube is not the best with notifying you, so sometimes I slip through the cracks. But I try to get to everyone, and yeah. Yep. So that's Jeskai Aggro /attack. Hope you guys had a wonderful time. I enjoyed myself thoroughly, per usual. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.